Guys, we are with one of my favorite guys, Miami in Denver. Thank you, Dada.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
We're gonna go right in. Dada, you are a Miami legend. Not calling you old, but you've been around.
Of course, been around, revolutionized the way that the individuals around the world look at extreme combat. Again, look at this like a relay race, right?
Hmm.
And we're just doing our part. And after us is going to be somebody else. And, bare knuckle fighting has been around since the Roman Coliseum days. We didn't invent it, but we did play an innovative part to it. We took it and we altered its appearance. We made it more eye-catching to the people's eyes of the 21st century. And right now, we're back in full force.
It's a huge deal right now. From the time that you started, that I don't know whether it was illegal, but it was not this media frenzy
Yes.
that it is today. Do you feel, not only do you feel, no, you are a fucking pioneer in this. You are the dude on bare knuckle. You started BYB, correct?
Yes.
With them. How does it feel from the days in the streets until now? Do you ever look at yourself in the mirror and say, I did this shit?
Hey, 100%. But you know what? Though? I'm so modest and I'm so grounded. To the point that even though it's like on an astronomical level, everybody they could connect with me because I don't act like I'm better than anybody else. And we were doing bare knuckle back down in Miami-Dade County, 305 Paran, before this sport was even popular, before anybody knew that it could be what it is. And we was getting ESPN, National Geographics, Rolling Stones. We had them
Dada,
all back then.
we were getting your videos on the flip phone, in the flip phone, bro. Like we were getting your videos on the flip phones, and to me, that was the craziest thing ever. It was like, what is going on? And look what it is right now.
Of course, creative minds never take a day off. And I can safely say in the backyard, we've always heard these phrases, right? That guy or that chick, she got the butter from the duck.
Yeah.
That means that there's nothing left for anybody to come after and do that would make you think, wow, why didn't I think of that? So when I transitioned from bare knuckle out of the backyard, it was only right that we launched BYB Extreme, which is the next phase of bare knuckle evolution. And I partnered up with some great guys and we put everybody in position, to run, not only run, but win this marathon race in bare knuckle. And it's no one on the planet that's doing what we're doing. No one on the planet has the history, the catalog, the creativity, or the start. We are creators of content, and creative minds never take a day off. We have the mighty
Yep.
Trigon ring.
Yes.
That's a one of one. You'll never see it nowhere on the planet but here at BYB Extreme.
Where do you see BYB going? I know we went already international with a huge purchase, with a huge merch that just happened. Can you talk about it? Can you tell us what's going on? Where are we going with that?
Well, again, when you talk about being the best, being the biggest, we've been stated that, even if not by size, but how we interact with the communities and the fighters. You see, so now we've just, made the acquisition to purchase, BKB, which is over there in London. So we're putting two worlds in a position. So it's like we have everything. We have hundreds of fighters on roster, right? Now you're fighting across the pond, and we're going to blanket this thing, city by city, county by county, state by state, country by country. Again, no one on the planet is doing what we're doing. We're real, we're raw, we're authentic. You can't mention bare knuckle fighting nowhere on the planet if DADA 5000 or BYB Extreme is not inside your opening sentence.
So, what do you recommend? Because you went from fighting to being the star to totally doing absolutely something totally different in becoming a star within this without fighting. And not a lot of people have what it takes. What do you recommend these fighters so whenever their fighting days are done, they could keep capitalizing like you have done?
Well, first and foremost, they have to search within themselves to see exactly what they're good at, right? Like myself, again, I understood, the components that I needed, to be put inside of a position to be able to
Because
do
you are a
multiple
character
things.
too. Not everybody is you. You are loud. You're Miami.
There you
That's
go.
why I think that that's what it is. That we are Miami, and being Miami is
100%.
just an animal. People don't understand that.
Listen, I got to tell you this right here is one of the best interviews that I've been on in a long time, and that's what it is. When you talk about who you are and being confident and
Yeah.
what you're capable of doing, it's contagious. When you walk inside the room, it's like that energy surge and people just go to feeling it, right? So what do they need to actually, transcend after their fighting days are over, to start getting those reps in now, to be able to start speaking. When you look at Paulie and other individuals, they fought and they transcended over. And, what we're doing, we're giving opportunities after your fighting days over to still be a part of. A lot of athletes don't get those for other promotions. Again, the same principles that we had in the backyard is the same foundation that BYB Extreme was built upon. Listen, we are a one of one. You know what I'm saying? And where we come from, other individuals, they could duplicate, they could emulate, they could imitate, they could copy a lot of things.
But
they
they
can't
would not
copy
be us.
100%. And they can't copy respect. They have to earn that. And every time we come out, we do just that.
Let's go to the human questions because I think that he is ready for it. You got to pick three. You got to read and tell me.
Okay.
And if you want to know anything,
Okay.
too,
Let's
do
here.
the three. But
Yeah,
before we go there, Dada, what does a lady has to do to go out with you? What's your situation? Because Miami boys always be lying about that.
For myself, right, an individual has to first be in a position to understand and to respect the position that one is in. It's almost like if you're an entertainer, right? Most entertainers, they deal with other entertainers because they understand how crazy that world is. So if you're an entertainer or you're, in whatever genre, right, and you get someone who's not a part of that, they're not going to understand.
Go bananas. They don't get it.
Why you do what you do,
They don't
and
get
it'll be
it.
more headache,
Yeah.
than anything. So it's just about understanding, late nights, early mornings, Hey, but when you call, I'm gonna pick up, So it's transparency. So that's pretty much it. Individuals being able to identify with who they all are in their respective places, and to be able to understand, the occupation. You know what I'm saying?
And care enough to put in the work because you are a lot of work, by the way, because you are a star. And as a man, obviously, that you go in and you take up the room. Because I've seen you walking in and it's not the hair, it's not that you tall as fuck, it's that you want people to look at you. You walk in there and Dada is there. And not every woman can take that.
Hey, arguments are right around the corner in any situation.
Not every woman can.
Yeah.
On the last fight that we had, I think it was Tampa.
Yes.
So you were with a gorgeous piece. She was everything. Do you go ahead and you look at them in a picture and say, you will look next with me? Can you handle me? Like, what is it?
For me, just being around, various individuals, it's like the energy.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys connect? Can you guys identify with each other, right? And can you see yourself collaborating to do some crazy stuff, to help move the needle forward in whatever occupation or whatever genre of entertainment, to leave your footprint, here on this patch of land that we call Earth, to make it a lot better than what it was, when we found it.
Before the three questions, I had this question for only Miami guys, for Yuli and you. Is it better to beat somebody up or to beat it up?
Wow, I mean, you can't technically go to jail for beating it up, technically, unless something wasn't.
It's one or the other one. Don't discuss it. Just one or the other one.
I would say, wow, that's a toss up. That's a toss up.
All right, let's go with those questions.
So I'm gonna read this out, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time you cried?
When was the last time you cried? I cried every movie, every dog movie. I cry everything. My plane was late. I cried. I couldn't make. I cry for everything.
So this is a two-part thing, right? We have tears, and these tears could be of joy, or these tears could be of anger. Now, you remember when Mike Tyson said, before every fight he cries because he doesn't like the person that he's changing into. This person, he can't control him. He's gonna go out there and do some bad things to this other person.
Yeah.
I feel like that from time to time. When individuals, they don't understand, the thresholds that they're crossing. So it's almost like, you feel bad for what you're gonna have to do to these individuals. And I shed a tear.
Do you really?
Yeah, because I'm such a modest, humble, down to earth individual that individuals, they will get that confused. Sometimes to their to their own detriment. So stuff like that. And like when my mom passed, that was very emotional because
Yeah.
we're born on the same day and we're like
Oh.
closest two peas in a pod.
Yeah, that could break you.
Yeah.
That could
So
definitely break
stuff
you.
like that. But more so, I've gotten past that anger stuff. Like if I really want to do something to somebody so bad and I can't really get to them, it's like the frustration.
The frustration makes you,
Yeah, you get emotion. May not
Yeah.
shed a tear, but you get emotion.
Yes. Next question.
Okay.
You pick them. This is not my responsibility. You pick them.
Okay. What's one book you've read multiple times, and what do you like about it besides the Bible? I would say Robert Greene, first 48 law, the first 48 laws of power. Right?
Okay. What do you took from that?
Well, I took a lot of things, like literally, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing, right?
Don't let your left hand what your right hand into it. Put
Yes.
that into.
When I say don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, you don't have to tell people your every move because everybody is not happy for you. Someone told me this and now I have to share it with you. So you have a bird and this bird was flying south for the winter, right?
Correct.
And this bird wings got frozen, got really, really chill, right? And the bird had to drop out of the sky. Right? When the bird was on the ground, the bird was so cold, and the bird couldn't fly. A cow walked by and manured on the bird, shitted on the bird, right? So the bird, got warmed up and the bird started chirping and feeling good. And a cat overheard the bird chirping, right? And the cat came over, dug the bird out of the shit and ate him. The moral of the story is everybody that shits on you is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you out of shit is not your friend. 100%. So it's like talk some and keep some. The less a person know about you, the better off you will be because we've told individuals certain things that we've heard them repeat. So titles are earned, they're not given. A friend, you guys went through some stuff to become a friend, but before we get to a friend, we have, acquaintances.
Yep.
We have affiliates.
Yep.
We have associates.
People you know.
We have, if I work with you, we have colleagues. We have comrades. You know what I'm saying?
At what age do you realize that colleagues and friends are not the same thing?
Oh, as soon as you get stabbed in your back. Because these titles are earned. I mean, I just met this guy here. We're an associate because we have this other guy in common.
Yep.
I'm affiliated with this person because of such and such, who just may not even be here, right? But if you are a friend, that means that I've known you for an extensive amount of times, that you've helped me out, or I've told you something that I've never heard repeated.
And we've been
I
through
can
shit.
trust
Yeah.
you. You got my back. I got yours. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing or no one that's going to come between that. If somebody's talking to you, if somebody's talking about you to me, they'll be lucky if they don't catch a flying elbow to the face. They understand that that's not going to fly.
Yeah.
You see? So at the end of the day, when you talk about, Robert Greene, first 48, laws of power, it teaches you how to maneuver in a room full of vultures and come out untouched, So a lot of times our mind is a tool. Jay-Z said we lose because we don't have the tools. So we have to equip ourselves with the tools to navigate this wild ride called life.
Yep.
Because we have individuals that are going to try to derail you, are going to try to offset you, going to try to hinder you, going to doubt you, going to put you in a position to second guess yourself that you aren't that bad motherfucker that I
But if
heard
you know
about.
who you are, no one can have the power over you.
And once you know who you are, you know how to hold a conversation with an individual. And for that 5-minute conversation, you can tell that you don't even want to hold
Definitely.
another one.
Got it. The last one.
Okay. The last one. Who did you look up to when you were a kid and why? My mother. Because she raised 3 boys into young men by herself without the help of our dad, and she was an educator, so we understood the importance of education, and we understood the importance of navigation and communication. To be creative and opportunity creates itself, but opportunity is also presented. You could create a situation because you are who you are.
Yeah.
But they say opportunity knocks. Do we know what that knock sounds like? Is it a knock? like this. So you have to be in tune with yourself.
With yourself.
So she showed us how to, be intertwined with who we are, as individuals, and to see things not so much just for what they are, but for what they also can be. So that's why I'm the individual
Or
that
for
I
where
am
they
now.
are, and you not necessarily see it.
Yes. And that's when
More
you say
than anything.
that's what and that's when you say, you know what though? Let me step to the side and let me figure this one out. Because we're all great. We're all kings and queens, right? But sometimes we're blinded by what others' perception of us should be. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you put your limitations
On
on.
me.
Exactly. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. Listen, I know what I'm capable of doing because I did it. I did it without the help of the majors. I did it when nobody was making phone calls on my behalf. I
Yep.
did it, when nobody was pulling, things together and making it make sense.
You walked your own path.
And then I created certain things, and now the world is enjoying them. And now that we have a team of superpowers that's all on the same, playing field, and we all have the same, understanding. That's to make this league, this sport, this organization the biggest and the best possible. There's no other feeling on earth that's
On the
greater.
world.
And look,
The
I
reward
was
is
in the
huge. The
backyard.
reward is
Now
huge.
I'm here with her doing a 5-star interview. You see,
Yo.
this is what we do.
We got a question. We got a
Yes.
question. Have you been into any of them DD parties?
No. Listen.
No, you don't have to say.
Okay.
Just say
Okay.
bye bye, yo. We from Miami. We gotta ask. Bye bye.